Hi everyone, very good afternoon. I welcome you all for this particular session of IoT and ML. Right, we are going to have a quite interesting hands-on experience with IoT. Actually, we used to like you might have some knowledge like of IoT. What IoT is? It is a very common term nowadays, right? Uh, Discussing about what IoT, okay, Internet of Things, okay. So nowadays it is not just Internet of Things; it is Internet of everything, right? Just a minute. Okay. So what does it mean? It means I was just discussing the definitions. Okay, definition of IoT. Okay, like connecting so that making a things. Okay, whatever the things that surrounds us. Okay, we just make those things to connect over the internet. Correct. So that they can communicate with each other. Okay. When they can communicate with each other, they can share their data. They can share their status. Like we share our status over Facebook, Twitter, like that. So they can also share their status on the social network. Same way. Okay. Means suppose there is a some accident happens. There is some fire alarm goes on. So automatically that status can be posted over Twitter. Okay. So that means like a human can post over the internet. Things can also post over the internet, right? It is nothing. It is just you can say the next generation, the fifth generation. You can say of the internet. Okay, we were working with the fourth generation that was internet of normal mobile devices. Okay, we were working where internet can be accessed from the mobile devices like your PC, like your mobile phones, these kinds of things. Now the next generation of internet is what where the things can also access over the internet. Okay, whatever things that we can do, all those things they can do. Okay, means everything whatever we can do, all those things they can do. They can communicate with each other, they can be controlled. Okay, they can be shared their status. Okay, whatever they want they can do. But for doing it, okay, the most important thing that is required is the server. Correct. For doing it, the most important, because without server nothing can happen. Correct. With internet, the most important thing that will be required is the server. Okay, so there's a huge number. There are so many servers are there are so many companies, there are so many service providers are there. Okay, IBM provided the services like thereafter that Bluemix and all. Thereafter this one, AWS is providing the services. Okay, so each and every cloud service provider are basically providing the service for IoT. Okay, we have a ThingWorks, ThingSpeaks. Okay, Watson. Okay, there are huge number of service providers are there, right? So what does the people do? Apart from, I will say, just a minute. So to make a IoT enabled environment, what are the configurations that we need? First of all, we should discuss that thing. Thereafter, we understood the purpose of AWS. Okay. So what we need is like, if I have to make IoT enabled devices, what we need? Obviously, sensors are the most important part. Okay, sensors are something that can sense this physical world and can share the information about it. To whom it will share? It will share to second unit of this whole environment, of whole ecosystem, that is known as your development boards. Okay, that these are the hardware parts that I'm talking about, right? Development boards. Okay. Now, if I talk about development boards, it is an electronics concept, where we talked about microcontrollers, microprocessors, these kind of steps, right? That means sensors are there. Sensor will share their data, whatever the data they sense, to the development boards. Now, what development boards will do? Development boards will process those things. Okay, the development boards will have the controller, processor. Depends upon what development board you are using. Like so many things are there in the market that we might have heard about, like Arduino. Okay, we are having RPi, Raspberry Pi. Okay, uh, that was also there. What was the name? Like there was an IBM product was there. They just discontinued it. I don't know why they discontinued it, but these two are main. Apart from this, we can also make our development boards. Okay, like we can just configure our own. Okay, if we're having a good knowledge of controllers and processors. Okay, we can configure our own development boards also. Okay, this is also possible, right? So what does it mean? That means we are having a hardware unit, we are having a sensor. Sensors are sending the data to the development boards. But when it reaches the development board, okay, it will process something. It will trigger a task. Okay, some task it will trigger. For example, whenever I suppose you are increasing or decreasing the temperature of AC, what does it do? You just increase the temperature, decrease the temperature. You share the data. When you share the data, that data basically goes to your AC, and within the AC or you can air conditioner, there is a kind of a controller. Okay, who basically process the data and basically whatever the things, like if you want to decrease the temperature, they decrease the temperature, increase the temperature, increase the temperature. That is a very common concept, all of us know. But we have to move after that point. After that point means what? Whenever anything happened, that should be shared over the cloud. Okay, that should be shared over the cloud. So third thing that came into the picture, that is known as cloud. We also call this thing as a server. We can call this thing as a cloud. Okay, that means whatever the status of a thing, that should be shared over the cloud. So we have to understand this thing, how it can be accessed over cloud, and how the cloud service provider gives us the option to do things, because there are so many things are there when you go to the internet. Okay, there is a most biggest challenge is the security. Okay, so how it can be secured, how it can be done. So for using that particular part, there are n number of cloud service providers are there, but we are concerned about what? We are concerned about something that is known as AWS. Okay, Amazon Web Services, that is leading in the industry. Okay, that is a leader of the industry. Why? We will see these things. Okay, why it is there and how it can be configured and how all these things can be done. Okay, those all things we will understand in this particular session. Okay, next, what are the prerequisites? Okay, what are the prerequisites? What, how we're going to go through, going to understand this particular topic? Okay, so there are certain things that we should know. Okay, what are those things? First of all, the language. Okay, which language you're going to do the program? Okay, we're going to use Python. Why Python? We can use Java, we can use something else also, right? But I am just choosing the Python. The reason is the next ML concept will be also discussed in Python. Suppose I choose over here Java, okay, or some other language C, and then I am moving to the Python for the ML kinds of things, so that will be a kind of a mess. Okay, so I don't want that kind of mess would be there. So we'll start on the Python, and from start to last we'll just use a simple one common language, that is known as Python. Okay, for AWS IoT, for machine learning, for data science, for each and everything, Python will be used. Okay. Thereafter, next thing that we should understand is the protocols. What are protocols? Protocols, no, sorry, protocols means what? It should be written as communication protocol. Okay, not just protocol, right? This is what we should understand. Okay. What protocol basically used for the communication? Okay, like we are having HTTP protocols. Okay, we are having MQTT protocol. Okay, COIP protocol. So WebSocket protocol. Okay, so basically we have to understand which protocol is good to work with IoT. Okay, it is not web browser. Okay, it is not a web browser. For example, if you are having a web browser, what we do? We just type a website and there is a HTTPS. It comes as a HTTP or HTTPS. Okay, so what is that HTTP? That is a protocol. Okay, so web browser basically communicate with HTTP protocol. It is like whenever we talk about the protocols, it will be like HTTP protocol. Okay, then we are having MQTT. Okay, web sockets. There are n number of protocols. COAP. Okay. So basically, HTTP is what? It's a protocol that your browser use. So is it like your device can also use HTTP? Obviously, your device can use, but basically we don't prefer. Okay, for the Internet of Things, for the things we don't prefer HTTP, right? Why? Because HTTP needs a little time and it might be slower whenever we want a, you can say, quick response. Okay, whenever we want a quick response, it might get slower, right? Because it works on the concept of clients and server. Okay, client put a request, server just responds it, then again put a request, then again responds it. Each time, if you know, each time whenever we use a web browser, okay, in the web browser there is a thing over here. Okay, that is known as address bar. So whatever we need, we enter into the address bar, and whenever something new we need, what it does, it basically refresh the things. Okay, so again we just put a request, again page get refreshed, again response will be there. So refresh, request, refresh, response, request, refresh, response. This is the process that happens. Okay, so basically it will take little more time as compared to MQTT protocol, which is not operating like that. Okay, that refresh, each time refresh, and each time page refresh, each time request is not there. It works on the concept of what? Works on a concept of something that is known as, if I talk about HTTP, just a minute, let me write. If I'm talking about HTTP, it works on a concept of what? I'll write over here. Client or sorry, request and response. Correct? It uses like that, right? So if I talk about MQTT, what does it follow? It follow little different. Okay, it is having a little different approach as compared to this thing. It works on the concepts of publish and subscribe. Okay, publish and subscribe. So what is publish and subscribe? Okay, it is like same way that you subscribe for a YouTube channel. Whatever, whenever you subscribe for a YouTube channel and whenever a new video uploaded over there, what happen? You will get a notification. Okay, why you get a notification? Because you have been subscribed for that channel. You are not asking for the YouTube that please send me something. You are not putting any request to them. Okay, you are not putting any request. Automatically, you had been subscribed. That's why you're getting the notification. Okay, so it works on the concept of publish and subscribe. There will be a publisher, there will be a subscriber who is continuously subscribing to a particular thing. Okay, and whenever a new update will come, that update will be automatically driven to subscriber, right? So these kinds of things we use MQTT with the on the things on the objects. WebSockets is a protocol that basically uses within the chat box, okay, like chat box applications like your WhatsApp and these kinds of things. We uses the WebSockets, okay, like whenever you communicate with someone. Here also the refresh is not there. Okay, here also it is not like that page will get refreshed, WhatsApp will get refreshed, something like that. Okay, so it is also used, but it is for the applications mostly. Okay, for the things we basically you can say use most of the cases we use MQTT, that is high in speed and all those kind of stuff. Okay, so we'll go into the detail of it, how MQTT can be used, how it can be configured for our devices, and all those things I will explain. So two things we have to cover up, that will the prerequisite languages and the communication protocol. Okay, so how the things will go on, that we will discuss. But first of all, as we had assembled for the AWS, so let's have a little discussion with the AWS. What AWS is actually, again, how the things get into the work. Okay, so for that I will use official document. This is open source document, okay, from the AWS for the IoT, right? So what it is saying, it is saying something like, now these are the just the description of the IoT, whatever things that we had I had explained. Like AWS customers are connecting physical things to the cloud in every industry. Whatever the industry that can use this thing, we are already familiar with. Each and everything IoT and ML can be implemented, right? So it is not a new thing that we are going through, right? So whatever the things, whatever education, smart home, automotive, everything, okay. Like from in the case of automotive, the current status of you can say at which particular corner or at which state, okay, at which particular position, okay, it is high traffic, it is a less traffic, where is the accident happened. Okay, so all those updates can be directly update over the cloud, and from the cloud it can be accessed from anywhere around the world. Okay, that is what happened actually, right? And based upon the access, when one access the information, anything can be done, anything can be, any control measures can be taken. Okay, any information can be shared. Okay, so this is how it can work upon. Okay, next. So they are saying that these companies who are using the AWS for their IoT kinds of product, okay, like Philips, they are having a smart bulbs, okay, that can be connected over the internet and can be controlled from anywhere. Their smart bulbs are there. That is, all of us are aware. There are so many other companies are there. They're also using it, but we are not so much aware of it, right? But we are aware of the Philips, like because Philips is a product that day-to-day life we use, right? So there is a smart bulb that can be connected, that can be controlled from any part of this world. Okay, if you are, if at your home Wi-Fi is there, okay, because it will be connected to the with the home Wi-Fi that can be controlled from any part. So and the backend they're using the AWS platform, AWS IoT platform for giving you this kind of service. Okay, the cloud platform. They're having a kind of a MOU like that. Apart from that, this kind of this different things are there. These different companies are there who are also using the AWS for their different kinds of protection of, right? Now, if I talk about AWS is having a kind of a n number of services. It is not limited to IoT, right? It is having a huge set of services. If you open the management console, it is having highest number of services as compared to anyone. Okay, database management, or you can say application integration, third party integration, third party application integration. Okay, SNS service, SMS service, email service. Okay, whatever the service that we want, that we can access through the AWS, right? Mobile analytics. So there are so many services are there that are basically there on the AWS platform. But we are concerned about what? We are concerned about something that is known as IoT. Correct. So we'll see how IoT are used. Okay. So before starting with the IoT, there are certain things, the challenges that were there. So those challenges have been cut down with the help of AWS. The very first, many SDKs in tools. What is many SDKs in tools? It means for any kind of a development, you need what? You need a programming language, right? So there are many platforms who are very specific for a programming language, right? But AWS is not. Right? That means if you are aware with the Java, you are aware with the JavaScript, you are aware with the Python, whatever the language, the general language, whatever the famous general language you know, okay. If you know it, you can start working with AWS. Okay. So it's a kind of a different SDKs and tools and languages it uses. Okay. That's why it is very popular that anyone who is having a basics programming language can start working with it. Okay. So it is not a language dependent or something like that. Variety of protocols, that means it supports n number of protocols. It supports HTTP, it supports MQTT, it supports WebSocket, it supports COEP. Okay, so any number of protocols, any number of communication protocol it supports. So it doesn't mean that suppose if you want to HTTP and you want to switch to MQTT, then you have to change the service. You are not required to change the service. AWS will say you that we are going to provide you the service for MQTT as well. Okay, just stick to us. We'll provide you the MQTT service as well. Don't worry about it, right? So that's how they operate. Okay. Thereafter, scalability. What is scalability actually? It is like suppose today you join, okay, and you are having a requirement of 100 MB. Okay, 100 MB space you require, right? This is what you require. So you will take this much space, they will give you this much space, 100 MB of space, right? Thereafter, they will charge you for this one only, okay? And tomorrow you need what? Or day after tomorrow you need what? 150 MB. So they can easily scale you up, okay? What they can do, they can easily scale you up and they will charge you for this one. And again, day after tomorrow, if you need a little more, little less, suppose again you need 100 MB, so they can easily scale you down as well. Okay, and they will charge you for this one only. Okay, it is not like that if you had purchased 100 MB, then for whole 1 month you have to be on 100 MB. Okay, and in between if you have changed to 1000 MB, then for whole month you have to be on 1000 MB. You can't scale down. It is not like that. Anytime you can scale up, anytime you can scale down. Okay, and whatever the current status, based upon that they charge, it's completely a postpaid. It is not a prepaid thing. Okay, it is just like a postpaid. Whatever you use, based upon your use, they will charge you. You have to pay that amount. Correct. Security and management, it's a high secure things. It provides you a very high security. If the protocol related to security is very high, I will give you the thing why it gives you such a high security, because it's work on a concept of encryption. Okay, there are two things it provides. One is known as private key. Okay, private key which is very much secure, not open to the world. Okay. Second one is known as public key, which is very much open to the world. Okay, that means then the question is why we need key first. Okay, thereafter we should discuss the private and public key. Why do we need key? Right? Key is something that we use to open a door and get into a room. Right? If we don't have a key, we can't get into a particular area. Right? So what is cloud? Cloud is also area, right? If you don't have a key, then anyone can enter into your cloud space and can do whatever they want, right? So basically what it requires, it requires a high security so that you can only access it. You are only authorized, or whomsoever you are giving the authority. Suppose you are giving the authority to 5 devices, so those 5 devices can only access your cloud space. No sixth other device can access it. Okay, so it is like it is having a 3 layers of security. Like with the public and private key, it is quite good security layer can be managed. That means private key will be secured, okay, and public key is open. So the public key which has been generated from this private key, if the data from this public key will go, then only this private key will let the data enter. Okay, otherwise it will just stop over here only. Okay, public key will be with you with the devices. So with the devices, public key will just, by using the public key, device will update the things. So if private key is not getting matched, okay, what will happen? They will just stop it. Now we'll say that how they will get matched. Both are different, but this public key is generated from the private key only. So there is a algorithm behind, okay, that will configure that will just create a relationship between this and that. This private key can be easily analyzed, that this private key can easily analyze that, okay, message is coming from a public key who to whom I had given birth. Okay, it is not coming from a public key to whom other one has given the birth. Right. So that is how it works. Integration with cloud and mobile applications, any applications you can integrate and all those things, stuff like we can do SNS, email, all those things easily can be. People and culture, anywhere it can be used. Okay, it is highly kind of it is not, there is not a problem of locations and all those kinds of things. Okay, anywhere from any browser, from any device, it can be accessed. Okay, so that's why it is so much popular, because of it this much variations, right? Apart from this, we need to understand the services. AWS IoT service. Okay. So it has been launched in 2015 as a beta version. Okay. Now they are working quite good. Earlier it was not that good, but now the security patches and so many things have been increased. So a little bit complicated also happens, but still now they are having a good sort of services as compared to 2015. Okay. So it can be used in a number of implementations: energy, house automation, shipping, logistic. Okay, there are so many places where it can be used. Okay, that we will see. This is the key use case. Okay, key use case, you understand what are the use cases where it can be done. Smart city, health and life science and all those kind of stuffs. Right. The use cases in all. Okay, health and life sciences, whether we can use in all. So these things are the theoretical thing, right? We can read with a lot of ample amount of time, right, when we are having it. But as of now, we have to discuss how. Okay, what, where we can use that, that is open source, anytime we can access, where we can use IoT and all, right? Retail, manufacturing and logistics, right? So how it can be used with the retail things and logistic things, right? So those things are there. Okay, this is important. AWS IoT architecture and ecosystem, right? What are the architecture and ecosystems, right? So over here, there are so many things written over here, right? So what we are concerned about? What is a thing that we are concerned? We are concerned about this API. Okay, we are concerned about what? We are concerned about this API. Correct. Solutions can be given to whom? These are the solutions, right? These are what? These are the solutions. Okay. It can be like big data and all those kinds of things are there. So these are the solutions. These are what? These are the devices. Means these are the company who are having a devices. They are using this IoT and all those kinds of stuffs. Okay. But as a developer, we are concerned about this thing. Okay. The API. Correct. This API is containing what? This API will have what? Things shadows. What are things shadows? Things are what first? Internet of things. Any object are known as things. Okay. Any object which you want to control over the internet are known as thing. Correct. So AWS is having what? Things shadow. Things shadow means what? It will have a pseudo thing. Okay. For each particular things, whatever things you will connect, it will generate a pseudo things for it. Pseudo things, that is a software thing, you can say. Okay, not a hardware thing, because hardware thing is with you. Okay, but there will be a pseudo thing that will be generated over the cloud. Correct. Rule engine will be there. What is a rule engine? This is a rule engine that will define what to do, how to do, when to do. Okay, so these things will be defined, all the rules will be defined by you, right? Controlling, accessing. Okay, who will control, who will access, all those kinds of things. Publisher, pub and sub broker. What are the pub and sub broker? Pub means publisher, as sub means subscriber. Okay, so And broker means what? In between. Okay, in between. Like if I talk about AWS will act as a broker. Okay, publisher and subscriber will be the end-to-end devices. Okay, so configuring those publisher and subscriber. Okay, configuring a broker, those things we have to understand. Secure gateway. Okay, we have to understand how can we make a secure gateway. Okay, gateway means what? Gateway that through which we can transfer the data and all those kinds of things. Things registry. What is things registry? What is registry? Registry is something like a notebook, right? We are having a notebook that is called register. Okay, so in that register, what we do, we write everything. There is a kind of way that okay, this everything we just write over there. Maintain a register. Okay, the same way AWS is having a things registry over which all the things, okay, whatever thing that you are going to use will be over there. Okay, will be just adjusted or properly. It will be arranged. So anytime you can access, you can just change, make the changes, all those things that you can do, whatever you want to do in the things registry. There the SDK will be there. C, Java, Python is also there. They had not written over, but Python is also there. So these are the SDK that support software development kit through which we programs. Okay. Regions and availability zone where it is available. Where what are the regions? There are huge number of regions where it is available. Security, the security like private key, public key, all those kinds of things. Okay. CA certificates. There are so many certifications are required that we have to configure. So we'll understand about those certifications and all. Right. So let's see in detail. Okay. So what is it? This is your AWS IoT Complete API. Okay. This is AWS Complete API thing. Okay. So the first thing that we should start is what? Is the message broker. This one. Message broker. The very first thing. Okay. What is message broker? The message broker is basically transmits the message, okay, from one endpoint to the other endpoint. Okay, from one position to the other position. Okay. So that means if I talk about AWS or these services, what these services are doing, these services are acting just as a broker. Okay. This communicate with a device via MQTT and HTTP. What are the device basically? Devices are like this. Okay. At this end, your devices are there. Okay. What are the devices? It can be car, it can be some like temperature, windmill, whatever. Okay. Whatever the device that you want to use. Okay. These are the devices. So these devices will be authenticated and authorized to share their data over here. Okay, they are basically authenticated or authorized to share their data over here. Correct. So that's why in between it is what? Authorization gateway, a particular layer that is known as authorization or authentication gate. Okay, authentication layer. Thereafter, it will carry a two path. Okay, you can say two paths are being made. Now, what is these two paths are doing? Okay, why these two paths are basically there? It works like this. Okay, let's have a more clear picture as it was above, so that we can understand. Okay. So, device SDK. These are the device that will share the exchange the messages. Here, the authentication and authorization will happen. Okay, at this point. Okay, that means who are basically authenticated and who are authorized to make change and who are authenticated to update the value. Correct. Thereafter, from here, two layers, two paths. Okay. This is the main thing that we should understand how AWS works. Right? So it is like for each and every particular message, there is a rule engine. Okay, rule engine means what? Rule engine basically defines with some message what to do and what not to do. Okay, then you might be thinking like this is the thing that you have to define on the device. Okay, in AWS actually you can define these things over the cloud only. What to get on, what to get off. Okay, it is not required to make it program on the device. Okay, so rule engine is something that will through this you just decide that whatever the data that you are receiving, what to do with that data. You want to use the data with a AWS Lambda. You want to AWS Lambda means what? Certain other applications. Okay, you want to put that thing into the database. You want to mail. You want to SMS. Whatever you want to control something. Okay, so whatever the things are there, that basically you defined using this particular thing, rule engine. But it also gives you something that is known as shadow. Okay, what is shadow basically? Shadow is something that means for each and every particular device. Suppose you are just making an application. Okay, this is your application. Okay, whatever the applications are, these are the services, these are the applications. Okay, so you have to just share the information over the application. Okay, so the data will not be shared with the application directly. What can be used, there will be a shadow created. Why shadow will be created? Because whatever the update that you are making, okay, that update will be made over the shadow. Correct, that update will be made over whom? That update will be made over shadow. Okay, if it is made over shadow, right, that means if suppose your device is off, is not communicating, it is a break, internet is not connected. Okay, internet is not connected over here. Okay, it is getting off or any kind of situation is there. Okay, so what will happen, your shadow will have that status stored, whatever the instruction that you had given, that will be stored over here, and whenever your device come, like whenever your device will gets online again, okay, will connect it to internet again, will gets on again, what will happen, your device will gets the updated message. Okay, and based upon the message it can perform whatever the needs to, whatever the things that it needs to perform. Okay, so it is having two benefits. The benefit one, that in any time if your device is off, it is not like that it will not get a message. If it is not connected, then it will not get a message. Whenever it gets online, it will get a message definitely. This is one thing. Second thing, the security. Okay, because your device is not directly connected, okay, a shadow is there, things are communicating with shadow. That means if any hacker or anyone, any person who wants to breach the thing, okay, they can't directly reach to your application, they can't reach to your device, they can only reach to the shadow. Okay, whatever the things they want to make change, they can make, they will try to make change over the shadow. Okay, they can't directly reach to your device, right? So the security things are also there, that also basically uh, just a minute. That is also a benefit of what, creating a shadow in the AWS platform. Right? So this has been mentioned over here. Message broker. Okay. What is message broker? This is what message broker do. Okay. This is what message broker do. This is a message broker, as I explained. Okay. What it is, a topic-based architecture. We'll understand this thing. What's the meaning of topic-based architecture? Lights, things, thing to color. Okay. What is a topic-based architecture? Topic-based architecture means what? Whenever we talk about MQTT kind of things, okay, what it do, it basically creates architecture like this. There will be a publisher, correct? It supports, these are the publishers. Okay, publishers are who was basically giving the instruction. Then there is a message broker. Oh, this is the message broker. Finished. Okay. And then there is whom, there is a subscriber, correct? Okay. This is the publisher 1, publisher 2, publisher 3, subscriber 1, subscriber 2, and subscriber 3. Correct. Thereafter, at the broker, both needs to configure something. Publisher as well as subscriber, both needs to configure something. What they need to configure? They need to configure the topic. On what topic they want to communicate. Okay. That means if they are subscriber, they will just say, okay, I need to subscribe. Suppose there are 3 topics. Topic 1, okay, topic 2, and topic 3. 3 topics are there, right? So your subscriber are not directly connected to publisher. They are connected to message broker by the means of topic. Okay, by just the means of topic. Okay, and this topic will be updated by publishers. How many publishers? As many publishers are there, they can update the topic. Okay, so if suppose these 2 publishers are assigned to update the topic T1 and T2. That means what they are doing, they're updating what topic T1. Okay, he is also updating topic T1. Okay, so it is like topic T1. Okay. So now topic T1 is updated, and if none of them is basically subscribed to topic T1, so they will not get the information. They will not get the information. They will be just remain to the broker only. But if at any time any one of them will subscribe to the topic T1, okay. So at topic T1, if suppose on is coming, okay, so automatically status will be updated as on over here. At topic T1, someone sends off, okay, so automatically off will be updated over here. They are not required to put any kind of a request. Getting my point? Subscriber will not put any kind of a request. Okay, it is not a request response thing. Okay, it is not a request and response thing. They have just subscribed and they are sitting just okay. I have subscribed, now I have to do nothing. Okay, and I just need to do one thing. I need to connect it to the internet because if I am not connected to the internet, things will not reach me, right? So they will just subscribe for a topic T1, okay, and they will just be in the rest mode, okay. Thereafter, whenever the topic T1 will be updated, okay, to whomsoever authorized, like they are authorized to update topic T1, they are authorized to update topic T1, they might also be authorized to topic T1, right? So whenever it will be updated, they will get the updated message over here, okay. Suppose they are authorized to topic T1, they are authorized to update topic T2, okay. So it depends, like, is there multiple topics can be accessed? Yeah, multiple topics can also be, multiple topics can also be subscribed. Okay, it is not like the single topic only will subscribe. Multiple topics can also be subscribed. Okay. So whosoever is subscribing, they are not subscribing the publisher. They are not subscribing the publisher. What they are subscribing? They are subscribing the topic. What they are subscribing? They are subscribing the topic. For example, you are having a light at your home. Okay, you are having a light. You are having a fan at your home. Okay, these two things are there, and you are having a geyser at your home. Two things are there. Okay, so if at the broker, it had been made a broker like that. Broker will be what? Broker will be made on the AWS platform. Correct. At the broker, what you did, you made the topic light, fan, and geyser. Three topics you had made. So if you had made three topics, in that case, they had subscribed for what? Light topic. So whatever the status fan and geyser is having, they are not concerned about that. Okay, they will just search for the status for the light. Okay, they are also having a topic fan. They are configured for the topic geyser. Okay, and who will update the topic? It can be updated from you, like from your mobile source or any source, whatever like source you are having, mobile device or something like that. You are updating this topic. You are updating the topic light on, so it will be configured as on. Okay. The same way, the same kind of concepts happen with a sensor also. If sensor are connected, then sensors will be what? Publisher, and he will be the subscriber. Correct. If it is a sensor, then sensor will be what? Sensor 1, sensor 2, sensor 3. As many sensors are there. Okay. So sensors will be one. What? Sensors 2, sensors 3. Right. So they are what? They are basically the publisher. Okay. They are basically the publisher, and they will just update over it. Okay. Over the broker. Okay. And there will be a subscriber. Who will be the subscriber? You will be the subscriber because you are getting the status of the sensor. Okay. So you can get the status of all three sensors. You can subscribe for all of these three. You can subscribe for any two of these three. You can subscribe for any one of these three. So whatever you want, according to your choice, you can make the subscription. And based upon the subscription, you will get the status of the sensor. So you can be a publisher, you can be a subscriber. Okay. So what they are written, millions of devices and apps can connect over any protocol starting with MQTT and HTTP1. Okay. Why it is telling MQTT and HTTP1? Because these devices can only use, they will not use HTTP. Okay. They will use what? They will use MQTT over here. Okay. This publisher and subscriber, this protocol is known as MQTT protocol. Okay. This type of protocol is known as MQTT protocol. But when you are accessing from the web browser, obviously web browser will communicate with HTTP, right? Web browser, on the web browser, you had never seen MQTT kind of web browser never supports MQTT. Okay, so web browser is something that supports HTTP. You're getting a data through HTTP, but these devices will not have web browser. They are not having the web browser, so they will just share their data with the MQTT protocol. HTTP can be used over here, but HTTP is not preferred. Okay, that is not preferred, but can be used. Okay. Long-lived bidirectional messages, client, device, and apps can receive commands and control signals from the cloud, right? Secure by default, it is very secure. Okay, connected to security via some security credentials are there with it. It is very secure. Right? That is the role of message broker. Okay, to take the information from one point to another point only if subscriber is there. Correct. Thereafter, okay, it is comparison basically. Okay, 93 times fast throughput. Okay, 12 times, almost 11.89 times less battery, there's less power to send. 170 times less battery to receive power consumption. 50% less power to keep connected. Okay, and it takes 8 times less network overhead. Okay, so this is the comparison of MQTT with HTTP. Okay. Okay. Thereafter, they explain authentication and authorization. Authentication and authorization means what? Who is authenticated to update the data? Who is authorized to get the data? Okay. Who is authenticated to update the things, and who is authorized? Like it is not open for all, right? Like suppose I'm updating something over the cloud, so it is not like Facebook that anyone can access it, right? So there will be authorization, like authorized person can only look into the things. Authorized devices can access the data, okay, and those authorization will be given by whom? Given by us by the help of some certain keys, certain programs that we will do, right? Okay. Security and authentication authorization. We already had seen this thing. I had already explained. Okay, here both where it is a key present. Okay, key is present over here, right? One is private key, one is public key. Okay, with the public key, whenever which is open to all of us. Okay, whenever it will be sent, this public key will be configured, will be compared, will be verified by using the private key. Okay, and when it is getting verified, then only things will be authenticated to enter into the block. Okay. Rule engine, I explained. This is called the rule engine. Okay. What is the rule engine is doing? Rule engine is basically defining the things like where your data is going to be stored. Okay. So going to be stored means what? What they want to tell? Just a minute. I will just tell you. Just wait a minute. Better. Okay. Okay. So it is like rule engine. What does the rule engine do? Rule engine is like something which basically means you are not computing on a hardware, right? You are deploying over the AWS. Okay. So it is like if some sort of program, okay, that is running on the Arduino or RPi, okay, that needs to be changed. So what we need to reprogram our board, correct? We need to reprogram our board. We need to reprogram our something like that. Okay. So based upon our programming, our board will functional will just operate. Okay. So if it is not better, like if we can do all those things, all those rules in computational part, if we can apply over the Amazon, which can be accessed and manipulated anytime, so that will be a much better option, right? That means whatever the coding that you are required to do over the hardware, you are not doing over the hardware, you can do over the actually over the Amazon platform. Okay, so that is what that rule engine supports. Okay, so it is like n number of devices are saved, and whenever customization is required, that can be done over the Amazon itself. Okay, this is what your rule engines do. Okay, but apart from this, there are a lot many things that can be done. Like it can give you the credentials to share your data over the kind of database. What is this? This is your database, like SQL or something like that, right? You are sending the data to the SQL, okay, storing it. What is this? This is the AWS Lambda. Lambda means what? Some third-party applications. Okay, AWS Lambda is basically a service of AWS that basically gives the integration of third-party applications. Okay, what is it? The SMS notifications and all. Okay? Through rule engine, all these things can be happened. Right? All these things can be easily happen through rule engines. Okay, so we'll see these things. We only explained over here. Okay. Any kind of service that is present over the AWS, if we want to integrate with IoT, we can integrate through rule engine. Think shadow I explained. A shadow which keeps track your device. Okay, that means if you want to do anything, you just given the instruction. Okay, and as you had given the instruction, it has been updated to the shadow. It has been updated to a pseudo device. Okay, so that's how shadow works. The same thing is explained over here. Right. So I'll share this PDF with you. Anyway, you can download this PDF anytime. Okay, if you search also, then you can also get the open source PDF given by Amazon itself. I have not created it. Okay, so don't worry like I'm doing something else. Registry is what? Registry is something where each and every things are basically mentioned. Okay, like whatever the device you are having, whatever things you are having, all those things are mentioned over the registry. Right. So and this completely forms the your API. Okay. So these API we have to use one by one. How it is going to be used, that we have to see. Apart from this, IoT pricing is there. So I guess we have some prices, but don't worry, we're not required to pay anything. Okay, for the we are going to use that kind of thing where we are not required to pay anything. Okay, apart. Don't worry, I will just let you create. So yeah, so message there. Let me take your query. So it is there. So what we need to do, we have to just get signed in. Okay. Before that, I will just tell you something. IoT core. So this is a dashboard for the IoT. Okay. So our concern is more about the AWS IoT as compared to other services. We will not like think of like how the other services and all those things are there. We are mostly concerned about what the IoT services that we will first discuss completely and thereafter different things, right? So this is a dashboard of IoT, correct? That is what actually it used to be there. I don't know, like they had shifted a little. Okay, it's a very good tutorial, right? Uh, okay, to understand the things. Okay, they had given it. So it is what showing the device gateway. Okay, how does the device and all those things are there. What is device gateway? Device gateway is something through which we share the data and all. Okay, you can see it is what sending the data. Okay, so here this is what, this is the publisher, right? It is a publisher, it is a subscriber, and this is the broker. Simple. Correct. Then after rule engine, through rule engine, basically what we do, we just define the rules. Okay, define the rules means what? Suppose here I am passing what, red button for red, green for green, okay, and blue for blue. Sorry, blue for, it is showing green only. Why it is showing green? Because here the rule engine is saying what, that blue can be, whenever blue button will be pressed, it will be green, and this rule engine is on. So if I off the rule engine, if I transmit blue, it will be blue. Okay, green for green, so red for red. That is what I explained. Okay, that is what I explained. What I explained like with the rule engine, you can configure what, you can configure your hardware, how your hardware is going to work, how you have to make the hardware work. Okay, you can program over here. Okay, in the rule engine, we can define it how you want to make your hardware work. Okay? This is what your rule engine basically. Correct. Thereafter, rule action. Okay, so with the rule action, what is that? That means what you exactly want. Okay, that means if you off the rule action, okay, so your data will not go to any kind of computation. Okay, over here computation are there. Okay, computation and some kind of output. Okay, over here data storage. Over here kind of a SNS. So you can consider this thing as a SNS service. Okay, you can consider this thing as a computation service. Okay, computation, and this one is known as what? Storage service. Okay, so these are three different services of what? These are three different services of AWS. SNS, notification service, it comes under the category of notification service. Okay, this comes under the category of Lambda services, and this is your storage that you can say that S3 service or EC2 kind of things are there. Okay, EC2, S3, there are different storage services are there, right? So if with the rule action, what you did, if you want that whatever the notifications, whatever the data that you are getting passed, we are just controlling it, right? So here the data is not getting stored, no computations are done, nothing is done. Okay, but if you on the rule action, things will happen like this. Okay. For the red color, the rule action is on. So whenever a red button is pressed, all will get the data. For green, it is not there. For blue, it is not there. But for the red button, rule action is defined. So all the data, whenever red is pressed, will driven to your different services. Correct. This is device shadow. Okay, what does the device shadow means? As I explained, everything whatever you are transmitting will be just over the device shadow. Okay, that means if at any point this connection is break, okay, break means what? It is just off. Okay, still your device shadow will get updated. Okay, you can see device shadow is getting updated. Right, so it has been updated with blue, and whenever it will gets on, that means you are back to online, it will be automatically blue. Right, thereafter if you are transmitting green, it is green, it is red. So you are updating what? Device shadow. Okay, so with the device shadow, what will happen? Your things will just get updated whenever it gets online. Correct. So basically whenever an attacker will try to attack, they will attack over this device shadow. Okay, device shadow is something that is open. Okay, device shadow can be is open to that. That's why a more secure network that you can get over with the device shadow application. Thereafter, build solution. Okay, this is simple. Your mobile phone or something like that. Final solution that all these things are there, and that's it done. Okay. Right. So it is the complete thing that AWS IoT supports. I hope you can create your account. So once you can create your account, I will let you know what are the other things that we need to do. And thereafter, we will proceed. Right. So had you created the account, everyone? No? Okay, fine. So what we can do, we can take a break as well because it's quite long, right? And after the break, we'll proceed. So you can create afterwards also. Today I will tell you after today's session also you can create. It is not like that now only you should create. So okay, you are facing problem in creating the account. Okay, no worry. You are having a time. You can try today, like to create the accounts. There must be something wrong. That's what it is saying. Okay. So actually you have to only create the account. I can't create your account, right? You can try with it. Many of you have already created, right? So those who have created, well and good. Those who have not created, they can try today. Okay. So after the session, you can try to make the account, right? Please don't really like something will be charged. Okay, it will not be charged. Just 2 rupees will be deducted. That will be also refunded. Okay, that will be also refunded, right? And until unless you are going for a huge amount of use, that obviously you are not going to do. Okay. So get started. There are certain things present over there, right? So what basically you have to do first? Okay, with the AWS, while we start, we have to follow a rule. Okay, what is that rule? Like how we have to go. So let me define the rule for you. Thereafter, what we have to do. The very first thing that we do is known as step first. Okay, and what is step first? In the step first, we just register our device. Okay, what we do? We just register our device. Correct. We register our device. Okay. So once we register our device, okay, what basically we get? This is step one. Okay. Step two. So before coming to step two, what we get from here? We get something that is known as ARN. Okay. Resource number, that is known as your resource number, Amazon resource number that you get from here. Okay, ARN. Okay. So with the ARN, how we will use ARN, that I will tell you. So after registering the device, second step that we do is what? We basically generate the certificate. What we do? We generate the certificate. Okay. Now certificate contains what? Okay. What does the certificate contains? Let me tell you. Certificate, just make it correct. What does the certificate contain? Okay. Certificate will have certain things like private key. Okay. You will have public key. Okay. You will have what? You will have public key. Okay. You will have CA certificate. Okay. I will explain what a CA certificate and all those things are there. Okay. So these are things that we will have. Okay. So basically what we do, we just create the certificates. Okay. Certificates for the security and all. Okay. And thereafter, the third thing that we do is what? Policy. This is the third step. Okay. Third thing we do what? We create a policy. Correct. So these are the three steps that basically we do whenever we are going to create an AWS account. Right. Thereafter, after creating these things, we have to connect this. Okay. How do we connect this? That is what we are going to understand. So what in detail, in more detail, if you want to tell you how, I will tell you what are these things. First of all, we registered a device. Okay. After registering a device, what we do is just get a certificate, and thereafter these are the three steps. Okay. First, register your device on Amazon to get Amazon resource number. Thereafter, you create a certificates. Okay, security certificate for your device that will give you private key, CA certificate, private certificate. This will be used for the authentication and all. Third step, you have to create the policy. Okay, policy means what? Create the authorization. This will be for the authentication and this will be for the authorization. Okay, like you are only going for the publish. Okay, you are going for the subscribe, you are going for both the things, or you're going to update the shadow, you are going to delete the shadow. Means what authorizations you are giving to whom. Okay, that is the meaning of a policy. Okay, and it is for what? It is for the authentication. Okay, so two things are there. One is called authentication. Authentication will be given by what? This one. And authorization will be done by policy. Okay, so that means what? You are having something like this. At one stage, register. Okay. At second stage, you are having what? Okay. Step second, we have generated the certificates. Okay. The certificates that we required. What are the certificates we required? I have written over there. You can just read it. Okay. These are the certificates that we required. Private key, CA certificate, and the private certificate. Okay. The use of this we'll see soon. Okay. How we can use it, we'll see it soon. Okay. Third step is known as policy. Create the policy. Right. So once I have created the policy, three things had been done. Right. Thereafter, we have to make a triangle. Triangle means what? This policy should be connected with your device. Okay. After making the policy, we have to connect the policy means First we create a policy independent policy, okay, and thereafter we connect that policy with the device, okay. We connect the certificate with the device, okay, and we connect the policy with the certificate. These will be three independent steps, okay. These will be our three independent steps, three independent things we will do, and thereafter we'll connect all of them, okay. And when we connect all of them, then our complete ecosystem will get ready, okay. When our complete ecosystem will get ready, thereafter we switch to our programming part, the Python programming part, right. Through Python programming part, we start communicating with our device that is present all these things, okay. Whatever things that is there, we start communicating through our Python programming and all those things. That means our programming will come later on. First of all, we have to create our ecosystem on the AWS account, okay. So how we are going to create it? We'll just create the step that I had given, okay. We'll follow this step here. Now it is having what things, okay. It is written what things, right? So I can click over things, okay. So two things are there, d things, okay. I will delete these things, right? I don't want these things, okay. Let me delete it. So there is no things, okay. Things is what? Things which can communicate, right? So how can you create? You can create a things first, okay. So what it is saying? It is saying an IoT thing is a representation and record of your physical device, correct? It is what IoT things? It will be a representation of your physical device, the physical device that you are talking about, the Arduino, Raspberry Pi, all those kinds of things, right? It is representing those things over the cloud, right? Any physical device needs a thing record in order to work with IoT, AWS IoT, correct? This is what thing is there, right? So if you're getting confused with the thing, now you might be getting more clear, like how, what are things defined. It is just a representation of device that you are having in your home, industry, or something like that. So first process, create a single IoT things or bulk register of many IoT things. So what do you want to get? You want to get a bulk or single? Obviously, we'll create a single, right? Create a single thing, right? That what is saying? It is saying just give me a name. Okay, so name of the things. What name? Suppose I will give a name like IITR. IITR. And these things are there. Things type and all those things. They are not type. There is no group we have created. Just ignore this part as of now. Just give a name, and thereafter you can just click over next. Okay, these things are not required. Even in your system, it might not be coming. Okay, you can just use to create, just click over next. Okay, so once you create next, it is going for the next step. Again, I will tell you, you can just give a thing name, okay, and thereafter you can create a next. Okay, I have to now, so I just went back, just a minute. Okay, let me do it again. So actually two things had been created. I will tell you where the first thing went. Don't worry about it. I'll just make it more simple. Thereafter, it is showing what? A certificate that we have to create. A certificate is used to authenticate your device, connect to AWS IoT. Okay. That means certificate will be what? Will be a thing that will be downloaded. Okay. That will be downloaded into your system. Okay. And that certificate will be used when you code. Okay. When you code for your what? When you code for your device on your system. Okay. That certificate will be used because that certificate should be there. As what I told you, your device should have a particular certificate so that it can be authorized whenever it will share something with a cloud. The cloud sitting over here, okay, and there is your device, correct? And what you do, you will attach the certificate with this device so that whenever it will try to connect with the cloud, those certificate can be verified and it can connect with it, right? So there are certain things are there, create certificate and all. Okay, you can auto whatever the certificates like certificate signing request. If you are having one certificate, that also you can, many company create their own certificate also. Many big company create their own certificate and they used to upload over here. Okay, you can what is this CA certificate and all, I will tell you. And what is saying what skip certificate is skip certificate and create things. Okay, so what I will choose, I will just choose this thing. Now I'll tell like why I'm not creating a certificate. I will tell you about the detail of the certificate. That's why I'm not creating this thing. Okay, not creating any certificate, right? I will just click over it. So things have been created now, right? What is this? The things have been created, right? So once the things have been created, this thing, if you click over it, you will get what? You will get ARN, as I told you, Amazon resource number, correct? ARN is there. Type and other things are not there. Okay, so this is what we have to create first. ARN with the things that has been created. This is what we had seen our steps, right? So things is created. Next, here is an option called secure. Okay, in the secure option is there certificate. Right? In the manage things are there. I have created the things. After creating the things, I have not given any certificate. Nothing I have created. Now I'll go to the certificates policy. This is secure and this one is certificate. Click over it. So these are the certificates. I will delete the certificates. Delete it. Now what they are showing, they are saying that can I create a certificate? Yeah. So first of all, you can go to things part. If there is no thing, you can create a thing. How many things you can create? You can create n number of things. I can create one more thing over here, two things, three things, four things. As many devices are there, that many things I can create. And having 10 devices, I can create 10 things. Okay. Then I go to certificate. How many certificate I can create? Again, n number of certificate I can create. Okay, as many certificate I want to create, I can create, right? So what it is showing, create a certificate. Same option. That means there, if I don't create, I forget. It is not like that we can't create. Okay, create certificate. So when you create a certificate, there are three things, four things we are having. Okay, not things I should say, otherwise you get confused. There are four certificates we are having. Okay, first is what? A certificate for this thing. This one is there. Okay, a public key and a private key. Okay, that means this is a certificate that can verify a thing. Okay, that means this is a certificate that will connect with your thing. Okay, that will get connected with your thing. It is not connected now. Okay, please don't take my words wrong. It is not connected now. We have to download it and later on we have to make the connection with the things. Okay, later on this will be the certificate that will be connected to your thing. Okay, it is not connected now, right? Thereafter, a public key that is open. Okay, that is open. Then there is a private key that you will download. So what you are required to download, you can download all of them. It is not like that you can't you download this one or that one. But for your use, what is important for you, this one is important for you. Okay, because that this will let you connect with the thing. This will let you authorized for a thing. Okay, and what is private key? This will let you do the changes over the things and all, right? That means whatever the message you send, it can be identified with the help of public key. Right? That it is you who are sending, it is not someone else who is sending. Okay, two layers of certificate, two layers of security. Thereafter, this one, root CA. Root CA is an important certificate. That is, these two will be different for us. Okay, these two are different for us. This will be different for you, different for me. Everyone will have different certificates. But over here, root CA will be same for everyone. Okay, as I click over root CA, what I will get? I will get a new window. This one. Okay, this one. Root CA certificate. Okay. This is for server authentication. Server authentication, who is a server? Amazon is a server. Correct? So to get authenticated over a server by a server, that you are communicating with a server, Amazon should authenticate to you, right? It is not like that, okay, you will just go to a door and just knock and it will open. Okay. It is like you are authenticated or not authenticated. Okay. So this will be the certificate that will give you the first entry, root CA certificate. With the root CA certificate, we will get a first entry. Thereafter, this certificate, private key certificate will give you the second entry, or private key will give you second entry. And finally, with this certificate, you can make changes over the things. These are the three steps, correct? This is open for all. Okay, everyone will have the same thing. Okay, it is saying what? Save or open with. What we can do? Can we save or can we open? Whatever we want to do, we can do. If I want to save, I can save it. If I want to open, I will open it. Let me save it. Okay, fine. Save it. This is the first certificate that I have downloaded. Let me share the complete. Just a minute. Actually, you might not see this window. Okay, now you can see this window. What happened? As I click over it, it's saying what? Save or open. What should I do? If I'll save, then also it will be downloaded. If I'll open, then also it will be downloaded. Okay, open. So this is the first certificate that is known as what? Root CA certificate. This one. Okay. This will be same for all of us. You can download and you can check. It is same for all of us, right? It is the first certificate because it is authenticating a program that a program can communicate with Amazon. It is same for all of us. Thereafter, we are having a certificate that is known as certificate for thing. Okay, this also you can download. And the third one is having what? A private key that also you can download. Okay. So three things I have downloaded. Okay, these three things I have downloaded. What I will do, I will copy these three things. Okay, these are the two things. Okay, right. Just now, so I will copy this thing. Okay, and somewhere in my system, I will just store it. New folder. AWS certificate. And the third one was what? Root CA. It is also a copy. This is going to temp folder actually. So these are the three things, correct? What are the three things? These three things are basically your three certificates. Okay. What I had not downloaded, the public I had not downloaded because that is not used. If you want, you can download it, the public also, but it is of no use for us. Okay. Later on, like it is not used in the programming, that's why I had not downloaded it. Okay. Thereafter, what it is saying, activate. Okay. If you will not activate a certificate, the certificate will not be activated. Okay, you need to activate it, correct? So as you activate it, it is now activated. Okay. Once it is activated, thereafter you can say what it is saying, attach a policy, but we don't have the policy. We had not created any policy. We had created the things, we had created the certificate, we had not created any policy, right? Policy means what? Policy means what? Like someone, it is getting off, on, or whatever the things. Okay, let's come to that policy, then we will get understand more. One policy is there, I will just delete the policy. Okay. So just done, after getting the done, it is inactive. You can just anytime you can activate it. Anytime you can activate it right from here. But as of now, it is inactive. Leave it inactive. Come to the part that is policies. Okay. What it is saying, create a policy. Correct. So the first thing, name of the policy. It is saying what? Just define a policy. So just define a policy like my policy. Okay. Thereafter, what it is saying? Add a statement. Okay, my policy one I can give. Policy statement defines the type of action that can be performed by a resource. Resource will be what? Resource will be like the persons, okay, the things, okay, the things, what kind of policy they can perform. So what is action? Okay, so it is saying that please use commas to separate actions like IoT or something like that. So you can use IoT. As I type IoT, it is showing what? If you use IoT star, okay, In that case, when you connect the device, okay, whenever you connect the device, your device can do anything. It can publish, it can subscribe, it can update the shadow, it can get the thing shadow, it can delete the thing shadow, each and everything it can do. Okay, each and everything it can do. That is your IoT stuff. Correct? Then IoT publish. Like if you select IoT publish, in that case, your device can only publish. Okay. IoT subscribe, your device can only subscribe. Correct? IoT connect, your device can only connect. Okay, it can't do anything. Okay, receive, then it can only receive the thing. So it is what that is there. Suppose I'm selecting IoT star. Done. Okay. So I selected IoT star, it can do anything when I connect a device. To whom I will connect the device? I will connect the device through AWS thing. Okay, how can I connect the device to AWS thing? I can connect the device to AWS thing by I'm having some external device, right? This was the query. Okay, I'm having some external device like I'm having motor or something like that. Okay, first of all, you're not going to use any hardware over here, right? Because we are in an online session, so hardware and all of those things are not like I can't deal with the hardware. So I'm giving you the example like how it will be done. It is like you are having a hardware, right? You are having a motor. Okay, this motor will be connected to whom? This motor will be connected to your thing. Okay, thing is what? Thing is something that is known as that we have just created. How it will be connected? It will be connected by using something that is known as ARN, Amazon Resource Number. It will be connected by using some certificates and all those things. Okay, and in between policy is defined. Okay, and policy will let it do the work. Like if it is IoT, the policy between these two things. Okay, policy between this device and the thing is what is just your IoT star. Then it can do anything. It can publish, it can subscribe, it can do anything. But if it is just for the subscribe, then only the information can come from this side to this side. No information can go from here to here. Correct? So what basically as of now we are doing, we are just talking about what we have to do over the server. Okay, we are not talking about what we do over here. Okay, we'll talk about this thing when we'll do the coding. Okay, this thing will be done when we do the coding, that how we can communicate. Okay, the communication part, like how we can communicate, that we'll do, but when we'll do the coding part, then we'll understand these things. As of now, what we are doing, what are all the backend, what are all the setups that we require at the server. So these are the setups we require at the servers. First the thing, second so certificate, and third the policy. Okay, we have downloaded the certificate. Where we will use the certificate? We will use the certificate for this device. Okay, the device that I want to connect, that certificate will be used for this device. Right, is it clear? Just let me know like if it is clear little. So we are having two units, right? One is called the offline unit. Offline unit, I should not say, it is like the device, the things, the actual thing, the actual hardware. Okay, two things. Okay, we are having one device that is the actual hardware, and second is the cloud. Okay, so as of now, we are just making the setup for the cloud, not the actual hardware. Okay, we'll come to that part also. Okay. So once the action is done, so what I have defined? I have defined action. Action is these many actions are there. I will select the star to make it open. Second thing, it is asking what? Resource ARN. Okay. With the resource ARN, it is saying what? ARN, AWS, IoT, US, East. These are the ARN and all. Okay. Topic replaced with topic. Okay. As I told you, here we can just use a topic. Okay. What topic I can use? Suppose I am using a topic on. Okay, in that case, when we will do the coding for what? Coding for, this is my cloud, right? Okay, this is my motor. Okay, this is my motor, right? So to control this motor, we need to code. Okay, where do we code? We'll code for what? Just a minute. To control this motor, we need to code. Where do we code? We code for some device, some processor, some controller, something for that we code. Okay. And when we code, in that code, I have to mention what? Topic. What I have to mention? Topic. correct? So if I'm mentioning topic on, right? So what will happen? It will just get, it will, this is the, what, this is something, what is known as rule, or you can say policy, in which topic is defined on. So whatever the things that is passing through this policy will be on, and that can access by it. Okay. As of now, I will make it more simple, and I will make it also a star. But I'll also make it a star for all the topics. For all topics. Okay. Later on, we'll go through that part. Like we'll change the topic, but first we have to understand the concept of topic. Okay. We have to understand how a topic, you have to see, we have to just visualize the thing. Thereafter, we can understand the topic quite good. Okay. Just now, I had just defined the topic, right? I had just given the definition. We had not seen how topic is working. Okay. So if we had not seen how topic actually works, we could not understand those things, right? So first of all, I'll explain how topic works, how different thing works. Then after, we will define those topics. Okay. Thereafter, allow. Statement and all things not required. Create. So once it is created, what we can do, we can click over it. Okay. As I click over it, ARN and all these things are there that will be used. You can see this is my actual thing. Okay. Effect is allow, action will be here, and resource is what? This one. Okay. So this is what policy that we had, that has been defined. Okay. The policy has been defined now. Correct. I will go to certificate. There is no certificate attached. Okay, why it is showing? Because I have created each and everything independently. I have created the policy independently, policy I have created independently, certificate I have created independently, and things I have created independently. Things that has been created like this. Okay, something is there. Okay, with some ARN and all, Amazon resource number. This is the certificate that has been created. Okay, all these things are there, and then things have been created. What is saying? No policy, and the no thing. Okay, so it is what? It is the interact. Okay, as you said me, like how we can interact with the things. So this is the, if you can see what it is there, you can see this is some, you can say this is some URL. Okay, this is some URL. Suppose if you are using any particular cloud service, okay, suppose you are using a cloud service Eclipse, okay, so what will happen? You will get something like this. That's some eclipse.com. If you use thingispeak.com, then it will be like api.thingispeak.com. Okay. So all people who get the thing, they're having the same URL. Okay. But here you can see all of us will get the different URL. This is my URL. Okay. That means when I want to connect the things, okay, I have to use this URL. Okay. If you are going to connect the things, okay, you will have different URL. Okay. So basically, in the things, if you go to detail, there is security and all those things are there. Interact option, in the interact option, I will get this thing. This is a URL. And what is this URL? It is a URL basically that will be used for what? For getting connected, for connecting your device with your things. For connecting your device, what? For connecting your device with the things. Right? Now what we have to do? We have to on the certificate, it is saying what? Attach policy and attach thing. Two things are there. Right? Attach policy and attach things. As of now, no policy. We are having three different things, but we have to attach now all of these things. Okay. So attach policy. As I click over attach policy, it is saying what? I have to select it. So select the policy. Select the policy for the things, right? Select it. Successfully attached policy. Correct. Click over attach thing. Thing is attached. Now if I click over it, I click over policy. My policy is there. I click over thing is there. Okay. Multiple a policy can have the, you can say with a, you can create multiple things. You can create multiple policies. You can create multiple certificates. Right. Now if you go through anything, it will be there. If I click over things. The things it is not showing, right? Security certificate is present. Okay, certificate is present for this particular thing, right? Same if I go for the policy, certificates are there. If I go for the certificate, things and policy, both things are there. This is a thing, this is a policy. You can just get the link, you can get the details. This is a thing. You can see IITR thing 1. Okay, you can interact with it. Now everything just gets connected. So I hope you get connected with it. Okay, the complete interaction will be done through what? The complete interaction will be done through this one, through this ARN. That means through your program you have to connect using this ARN. Okay, you have to write code in such a way that you will connect to this ARN. Clear? So how many of you have created it? Okay. If you have created it, well and good. If you have not created it, you can create it after today's session. Okay. Next, the coding part. Okay, coding means what? We have to understand how we can interact with it. This is the cloud part that we did. On the cloud, for each and every device, for our device, we have created a shadow, you can say, that is called the thing. Okay, we have created a shadow that is called the thing for our all the device. We have created the certificates for it, for the certificate for the security reasons. Okay, because all of us are having a unique certificate, and we have created the policies also. Like my device can do anything. Okay, I just given it can do anything. Okay, topics and all those things I have not mentioned because we have not seen the topic part in a hands-on session. First of all, we'll do it hands-on. We'll understand how topic works. Thereafter, we'll define the topic there as well, right? So now you have to understand the coding. What for the coding, what we are going to do. Okay, for the coding we have to use what? Python. Okay, so it is mandated that your system should have Python installed. Okay, you can install the Python. Okay, so it is easy to install. It's open source software. Okay, many of you are not aware with the Python. If you're not aware, don't worry about it. Okay, I am here. Okay, I will let you know each and everything, like how to code on the Python and all. Okay, okay. Absolutely nothing to worry. Like I will not like take you directly to the more tougher part, right? So if you're knowing, well and good. If you're not knowing, then there's also nothing to worry. So from this link, you can download this, right? This is what you have to download. Correct. If it is a Windows, if it is a Mac, you can download this. Okay. And if it is Linux, for Linux also it is there. Not there. It is not there. These are the things for the Linux, I guess. Yeah, it can be used in the Linux. Okay. So I hope you can install the Python easily. Okay. So I will give you the link. Just a minute. It is Python 3.6. Okay. So once you download, then you have to install it. Okay. So when you install, the very important part that I am going to tell you. Okay. When you install, what you have installed, if you have installed, well and good. But if you have not installed, the very important part that I am going to tell you, that is what? That means if I will use CMD, okay, you can see my CMD screen, command prompt screen, right? So at this command prompt screen, if I will write Python. So my Python, I can access the Python directly from my CMD window. Okay, that means any kind of the installation, any kind of instruction that I have to give, I can directly give it from here. Okay, like A is equal to 6, B is equal to 7, A plus B 13. Correct. It's a very easy thing, right? So what I need when you are installing, when you have installed, you can also access the Python from the CMD. That is what I need. Okay. Actually, you will also need this thing. Okay. Why you need this thing? Because if suppose I have to install any package, okay, I have to update any package. So for any kind of installation or for any kind of update, there are the commands. Okay, we use the commands. Okay, if it is not accessible through CMD, then it will be very tough. You have to go to C drive, within C drive, some more drive, some more drive, some more drive. Like you have to go deeper, deeper, deeper into the directory. Okay, and then to search the directory that is called the library of the Python directory, and then after there you have to install the things. Okay, so that will be a complicated thing, and we are since online, so I can't solve one by one each of the system. Okay. So now the question is how we will install the Python. What is the procedure of installation? Okay. So if you have installed, well and good, you can check it that is it can be accessed simply from the CMD or not. If it is getting accessed simple from the CMD, that's fine. If it is not getting accessed from the CMD, then we need to do something. Okay. So what we need to do, whenever you install the Python, okay, there is an option that you get. Okay, let me show you. Okay, I'm first uninstalling it. Thereafter, I will again install and let you know. So, when install, you have to right click. Please see very carefully. Run as administrator. This is Python 3.6.8, whatever version. This will be above 3.5, right? So that is going on in the market. So this is what I'm talking about. Okay, this is add to path, right? Please do check this block. Okay, I'm repeating it again because many of us do the same mistake. And I don't want that we should make the mistake. Okay, this should be checked. Okay, and install now. It should get installed. We can create a program for publisher. How we can create a program for subscriber. Okay, so those things we'll understand the publisher, subscriber, broker part completely. Okay, and once we understood those things, thereafter what we will do, we will start using the platform that is known as your AWS. First of all, we will start from the basic, very fundamental, like we'll understand the publisher part, programming for publisher, how to become a publisher. Okay, we'll talk about how to become a subscriber. Okay, how actually practically a broker works. Okay, basic kind of broker, and thereafter for Ubuntu platform, any platform it will work. All the platforms it will work. Any platform you can use. Only the Python you have to install. Okay. And once we understood these codings, okay, thereafter what we do, the things that we have created, certificates and all those things we have created, right? Certificates created, policy created, things created, all those things will integrate into this code. Okay, so that will be a simple process. This is how we understand. Okay, we'll easily understand the things because these are the basic things for the protocol that we understand first. Okay, and after we just integrate the certificates and device and all those things, and then the communication will start. Right. So we'll continue from here only. There tomorrow session. So be ready with the things, right? I would recommend 3.6 or 3.7. 3.6 or 3.7 you can use it. Right. Yeah, that's what, like you get virtual environment and so many things. That's why I'm saying please don't install the multiple versions now. Okay. Thank you everyone. Just take care. I'm sharing the PDF over here, right? Okay, sure. It will also be shared. Thanks a lot. Thank you. Thank you very much.